Well, wow, this is going to be a real Newfoundland experience. I got my sunglasses on. We're getting on the ferry, so come on along, see what we can find. We're in North Sydney. We're getting on the ferry. Here you go. They're putting us on. A little faster motion, and I thought they wanted us to go in there, but he straightened me out, and here we go. So we're loaded up. I'm on top of the boat. Now I'm having a look around. We're in North Sydney, so I want to get some shots of the harbor before we leave. Some shots of the boat overall and the other ferry here. It's shooting through the fog here. It's pretty nice. I like it up here. Every time we go it's different, but pretty foggy today, shooting through the fog. There's some lighthouses. Now it's lessening off a little bit. We can see a bit more clearly. There you see what the fog is really like. Watch the rocking of the boat here from side to side. Now when I first came across in 1972, the boats rocked a lot more than this. There's all kinds of stabilizers and things like that and gyros that smooth the boat out now. Still has a bit of a wave to it. We've landed in Port aux Basques. We're getting off the ferry. Here we go. Now Bella's been in the crate in the van for about 6.5 or 7 hours, so she's telling me, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So we're running down the road as fast as we can. We're going to stop at the information center. Just up ahead here. We pull up and Bella races out. Oh, now she's a lot happier and ready to proceed. We're headed to Wreck House where we plan to spend the night. Look at the rain and fog. You know, it's not a very nice night for traveling, so we're just going to find a place and park up and spend the night, see how that goes. This is Wreck House. Now, Wreck House has been known to have winds up to 200 miles an hour and blow trains off the tracks. So the history was that there was a person living in Wreck House, and the CN would phone up and ask them what the winds were like, so if they could let the train go or not. And the house is long gone now, and it's just a place to spend the night here. So this is the evening. Sun's going down. I'm videoing some of the clouds passing by over the mountains here. This is the morning, so the sun's coming up. I'm shooting some more video, close-ups on the clouds over the mountaintop. It's very interesting mountains here. You can see the clouds just swirling around. I'm really enjoying it. I love Wreck House. This is the morning. The sun's coming up now. I'm shooting some pictures here. Just getting a few shots. There's our van out over the horizon here. Mary got a close-up of that snail there. Beautiful day here. Sun's coming up. Wreck House. There you go. There's the sign. Sunrise over Wreck House. Just loving it. Mountains are really nice. I love it here. We're driving along the coast now, and we stop by Marguerite. It's a little village, Marguerite. Beautiful place. Some local color here, some of the boats. Now here we are at Rose Blanche. This is one of my main spots to stop. Rose Blanche for the lighthouse. The weather's bad, so rather than worry about controlling the weather, I just get some shots, some video of the waves as it is, and show you what we're up against. I can't get any gorgeous sunny shots when the weather's like this, so I just shoot what's there. The waves are rolling in. It's not really an angry sea, a bit of waves, though, a little action. I hope I get some really angry waves at some points along the trip. See the waves. I'm trying to do different exposures. This is live ND or high-speed shots. I hiked up to the lighthouse, and this is all I could see. It was really foggy, and it was a difficult hike too. I wanted to get some shots with the stars, but when the fog is in, you can't even see the rocks. Well, this is the walk up to the lighthouse. Here's the ocean off the side here. Beautiful. Just love to be by the water. Now we're going to walk up there. It's a bit shaky walking up, so what I'm going to do is I'll just zoom us right up there. Olympus zoom works very well while you're shooting video. It's a lot easier than walking. There you are. Here you can see the lighthouse. It's a stone block building. It's really, really solid. I mean, it should last forever, basically. It's just made out of local rocks, I assume, hewn and stacked one on another. There's the water out the side. It's really beautiful walking along the coast and seeing all these rocks. You can see why they need a lighthouse here. I mean, if you came sailing in there and hit those rocks, that would be game over. So there's the lighthouse on a rock mountain here, basically. It's just beautiful. I've got some shots in the past when I had the Galaxy right behind the lighthouse, and I'm going to come back here again because I really hope like in 3 weeks or a month we might get the Galaxy in behind the lighthouse, or at least some stars, because it makes a beautiful night shot with the lighthouse and the stars behind it. You just have to take my word for it at this point, because all we got is fog and mist, but it's quite an amazing lighthouse. I have to do some research. There were signs there about when it was built and how it was built and everything like that. I'm kind of in a rush blasting along. I don't have all that information. So there it is, Rose Blanche Lighthouse. Again, the waves, wow. I really like the coast. There's just something about the rocks and the water and the sky. Such a nice place to be. And the fish and chips, well, let me tell you, the fish and chips is good. And the ones we had, $20 for huge, was enough for both of us anyway. It was great. Really enjoyed it, because it was too rough of a day for me to cook anything outside. Couldn't find any fresh fish, so. Here I'm using high speed to stop the waves pretty much so you can see the water. I tried different things. I tried live ND, I tried high speed, and I just wanted to see how the waves would look at different exposures. Wow, I found these little flowers smaller than your thumb, Labrador Tea, and they just make beautiful photographs. Lady slippers we found here, these pink lady slippers. I stopped and photographed them. Now the sun came out a little bit, and we got some sun through the fog and everything. Beautiful. Look at the sun on the side of the lighthouse. There's an outhouse too right beside the lighthouse. Now we're leaving Rose Blanche. We've had our fill of Rose Blanche, I'm afraid, so we're going to head up to Cape St. George. But I got to drive down this pretty rough road here. You can see what the road is like going up to the lighthouse. You want to take care you don't shake your teeth out coming down here. And now we're out on the Trans-Canada headed for Cape St. George. Sky's bluing up a little bit. It's beautiful. When the Newfoundland sky is blue, it's something to see. It's really amazing. The blue is a nice clear deep blue, and the white is nice, beautiful. You don't have nearly as much haze or aerial perspective when you're out on the rock. I love it here. I keep coming back. I must like it. Look at there. The roads, well, people used to say the reason the Vikings left was because of the roads, and that might be true. I'm not sure. But here we go anyway, blasting down the road. There's so much road. There's a lot of driving to get from one place to the other. You go past ponds on one side, mountains on the other. It's totally different. It's just a really great place to be. Look at there, we're on sort of a causeway here. We're headed out to Cape St. George. And there's a huge quarry just up ahead on the left. I know it's like a sand and gravel kind of thing. We're coming up on that now. You can see the road a lot. You're right along the coast of the island. I mean, it's just great. Driven Highway 1 in California, and you couldn't even see the ocean in a lot of places. But here, it's pretty nice. You can see the ocean shore. There's the quarry off on the left. Some huge dump trucks and piles of aggregate everywhere. Look at that. Wow. Here we are at Cape St. George itself, and look at the rock formations. Looking over at the sea, there's our van parked up along the shore, and we find these yellow lady slippers, and look at them vibrating in the wind. I'm shooting some video here, and you can see them just vibrating. I didn't know what to do at first to stop the wind, and I decided don't stop the wind, just use a very high shutter speed. So I went up to 1/1200th, 1/1600th of a second, and I got really nice close-ups on them. I mean, there's no problem with the stabilization, and the video looks stable enough, but the flowers are sure vibrating. But when you use a 1/1200th, 1/1600th of a second, you can stop them and get some nice still shots of them. Mary took a bunch of photographs of me making pictures from the shoreline. Here we find a savanna swallow. We're leaving Cape St. George and we're headed off down the coast. We're not really sure what we're going to find, but we're going to do some touring. Driving past the Bay of Islands, we stopped to photograph some boats here, some nets, and there's some of the boats in the Bay of Islands. Beautiful, beautiful. Now here we are at Lark Harbor. Now my plan was to park up at Lark Harbor and try and photograph the planetary alignment right over the harbor. I got up at 3 in the morning, and unfortunately we were fogged in, but I did manage to shoot some video and some nice stills of the harbor. I would have liked to see the planetary alignment over top, but it wasn't meant to be. Now we're cruising down the road again. We're leaving Lark Harbor. We're headed towards Corner Brook. So we're driving along here. I've got some serious driving ahead of me. I look pretty stern at the wheel there. We're going. Got to be really careful. There was a head-on transport truck collision on there. It's a foggy day in the Bay of Islands. Look at there. And we keep going along the coast road. You can see you're right on the coast. I mean, you can't get any closer to the ocean than that without getting your feet wet. So here we go. I just love being on the seacoast. I really like it. It does tend to be rainy quite a bit. You can see some houses built right on the shore, fishing sheds and whatnot, boat houses. It's just amazing. I mean, this has been going like 400 years or something like that. Here we're driving through town here. We're gonna pull up and have a look around. The people were super nice to us here whenever I stopped. We pulled up here to take a few pictures, talk to the people. Here's somebody booting out across the water. We're leaving the Bay of Islands now. We're headed towards Corner Brook. It would be nice if this was a bright sunny day, but mostly it's not. I mean, this is more of the type of weather that you get along the coast here. Very nice though, just the same. We're driving past the paper mill in Corner Brook. Well, here's to you. This is quite a coastal tour we're having. Lark Harbor, it's just been great. Wonderful people. All the wood stacked up there, ready to be ground up into paper, I imagine. Blasting down the highway again. We're headed to Cox Cove. We're gonna stop there. A lot of construction, you know, there's gotta build the bridges when they can. It's really a wonderful drive. It's nice and cool. You don't need the air conditioner on most of the time. It's a nice drive. You see rock faces off across the ocean. I mean, it's just wonderful. This is Cox Cove. We're gonna stop here and buy some scallops and things like that we can cook on the way. Pulled up here, let somebody go past. I don't drive very fast, so I try to be polite and let everybody drive by. They know every right and left turn and every pothole, and I don't, so I gotta take it easy. Nice blue and red houses and everything like that. Those dories along the side of the road, I asked one of the guys, I said, there must be a factory around here pumping them out, and he said, no, there's one guy and he's made less than 200 of those in his lifetime. One of the fellas told me his boat was 30 years old and he paints it every year. Beautiful little view out along here. Boat sailing across. Some local color. I love these houses, traditional houses. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like, subscribe, and come on back again real soon.